Okay, today, real quick, I'm going to do 3 review problems from section 2.2. So we're just taking the derivatives of these 3. So you're going to want to get out a separate piece of paper or a blank piece of paper so that you can put these down. All right, first one, f of x is equal to negative 2 over 3x squared. Whenever you have an x in the bottom, we have to figure out a way to get rid of that. So if we only have one term here, the easiest way to rewrite this is to leave the negative 2 on the top, move the x to the negative second to the top, and keep the 3 on the bottom. So notice that I'm very deliberate about what's in the numerator and what's in the denominator. Don't try to squish it all into one little spot on your notebook paper. It's easier to keep a separate top and a separate bottom, because now it's easier for me to tell that I'm going to power that down. So negative 2 times 2 gets me 4. I'm going to lower that by 1, and I'm going to keep it still all over 3. Okay, now I'm just going to rewrite that. So it's 4 over 3, and then that x to the negative third moves to the bottom and becomes positive. All right, there's number 1. Let's take a look at number 2. Kind of the same idea where the x is in the bottom. So now again, we want to move that up, but the other problem is that there's a root. So I need to take care of the root and the fact that it's in the bottom. So when I rewrite this one, I'm going to have a 1. This x is going to move to the top, but now it's going to be an x to the negative 1/2. Because the 1/2 because it was a root, and negative because I'm moving it from the bottom to the top. And then it's still all over 2. All right, now I can take the derivative. I'm going to move that negative 1/2 out in front. I still have the 1 x, and I'm going to lower that by 1. So negative 1/2 minus 1 gets me a negative 3/2. And then that term is still over 2. All right, now I'm just going to clean things up and move that negative to make it a positive exponent. So my derivative on the top is negative 1 times 1. On the bottom is 2 times 2. And that moved to the bottom, and you're going to leave that to the 3/2. You do not need to change that back to a root. Leaving it with the 3/2 exponent is just fine. All right, there's the second one. Last one has a couple problems, in that we have this x to the third in the bottom, but it's really a denominator for both of these terms. So the first thing I'm going to do is divide this into this first term, and I'm going to separate it into that second term. So when I rewrite this, the x on the top and the x cubed in the bottom is going to cancel to be 2 over x squared. But then I'm going to leave it 1 over x cubed. Okay, so now it's like 2 separate problems. I'm going to make that a negative exponent, and I'm going to make that term a negative exponent. So now when I rewrite it, I have 2 x to the negative second and an x to the negative third. Now I can go ahead and take the derivative. The negative 2 goes out front, making it a negative 4. Lower it by 1, so it becomes to the negative third. The negative 3 goes out front, making it a minus 3, and then x to the negative 4. And the last thing, the derivative is done. I just need to rewrite it so all my exponents are positive. So negative 4 on the top, x to the third on the bottom, minus 3 on the top, and an x to the fourth on the bottom. All right, hopefully those 3 will help you kind of clean up some questions you had on 2.2. And then very shortly we'll be looking at 2.2b.